and the statements that I said on this floor came to me by complaint of the members. First, that they had not been notified. I don't believe that they were notified. I believe that truly that they didn't get the mail in their office, number one. Number two, the sense of your letter here. I'm inviting you to hear a dialogue on my perception of what American policy and foreign affairs should be. I'm going to go back. You didn't tell me you were going to go back to 1970 to get clips. 1972 on the instance of Mr. Edward Bowen, gentleman whom I have the greatest respect for, chairman of our Intelligence Committee. And you were going to ask him a question as to their policy and how they felt about the Vietnam War, and a question of, did you beat your wife lately? I want you to come in and answer the questions of the philosophy that you had then. You talk about Angola. You don't talk about Angola. Okay. How during the Eisenhower administration, we were for the very, very people that later on the Nixon people were opposed to. Change in strategy. You don't say anything about things of that nature. Very interesting. My personal opinion is this. You deliberately stood in that well before an emptied house and challenged these people, and you challenged their Americanism. And it's the lowest thing that I've ever seen in my 32 years in Congress.
Mr. Speaker, if I may reclaim my time, let me say first of all,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we take the Speaker's words down.
The clerk will report the words taken down.
My personal opinion is that you deliberately stood in that well before an empty house and challenged these people, and you challenged their Americanism, and it is the lowest thing that I have ever seen in my 32 years in Congress.
What's wrong with that?
Does the gentleman from Massachusetts have a request?
Or does the gentleman from Texas?
A gentleman from Texas have a request?
Has the chair ruled?
Chair has not ruled.
Chair has not ruled.
If the chair would rule, I have a request that I'd like to make.
Well, the chair feels that that's right. The chair can rule?
If the chair would rule, then I would like to...
The chair feels that type of characterization should not be used in debate.
After the chair's ruling, Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent at this point that the Speaker be allowed to continue in order.
Without objection.